Good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
So I want you to be seated and listen very carefully to our discussion for today. And for now, before we begin to our topic, I have here some puzzles and I want you to answer this. I want you to get a piece of paper. Then answer this in your own understanding. In our previous topic, we discussed about gods and goddesses of Greek mythology. So I know you all know these persons. I mean god and goddesses. So answer this in your answer sheet. I'll give you 5 minutes to answer. Okay, time is up. So we will check that later after we have discussed our topic. So our topic for today is all about Adonis and Aphrodite, a myth about love, beauty, and a myth about beauty and love. So this is interesting stories. I want you to listen very carefully.
Adonis and Aphrodite, a classic tale from Greek mythology that touches on themes of love, lust, and rejection. Adonis, the mortal personification of masculinity that captured the heart of the goddess of love, Aphrodite. But did it, as is usually the case, inevitably all go wrong for this beautiful couple? Let's find out together right now. It is said that Adonis was born of the illicit union between King Thais of Smyrna and his daughter Myrrha, urged on by Aphrodite herself, the goddess of beauty, love, and sexual desire, who had been offended when King Thais forgot to make a sacrifice for her. Myrrha had made amorous advances towards her father, but he was successfully keeping her away. One night, she managed to lure her father out into the open, and there, under cover of darkness, she laid with him. As dawn broke, Thais discovered to his utter...
So, Mera, the daughter of King Thias, was very in love with her father, which is King Thias. So, she laid with her father at night, and then, looks what happened.
disgust the deception of his daughter, and with sword in hand chased her into the wild, wanting to punish her for her audacity. Sensing Myrrha's necessity, Aphrodite transformed her into a tree, the myrrh tree.
So after what happened, that Mera laid with her father at night, King Thias find her, chased her in the wood, in the forest, and then Aphrodite, goddess Aphrodite, turned her into a myrrh tree. So this is Mera. The myrrh tree. Next.
Still in anger, Thais shot an arrow into the tree trunk, splitting it wide open, and it was from there that Adonis was born.
So because of the madness of King Thias towards her daughter, Mera, he shot an arrow to the myrrh tree, and then Adonis was born.
The child of an awful union between a father and his daughter. Baby Adonis was adorable beyond words, and since there was no one to look after him, Aphrodite took him under her wing. So obsessed was she with him that she began neglecting her duties as a goddess. As a remedial measure, she sent the child to be looked after by Persephone, the queen of the dead in the underworld. It was also a move to keep him away from interfering eyes. However, Persephone too fell dearly in love with Adonis and refused to give him up when Aphrodite came for him.
So because Adonis was born and because baby Adonis was, no one would took good care for him. So Aphrodite gave baby Adonis to Persephone so that Persephone would take good care of Adonis. But also Persephone fell in love with Adonis.
There was a bitter argument, and Zeus had to intervene to prevent a disastrous argument between the two. He decided that every year Adonis would spend 4 months first with Persephone, the next 4 months with Aphrodite, and the last 4 months he would be left alone so that he may learn to look after himself.
because Persephone and goddess Aphrodite was have an argument. So God Zeus intervened between the two, so that it will avoid the disastrous argument between the two queen of the death, which is Persephone, and the goddess Aphrodite. So he told that Adonis will first 4 months in the year would go to Persephone, the next 4 months for Aphrodite, and the last 4 months for himself, so that he will learn to take care for himself.
Adonis grew up to be a very handsome young man, and one look at him could make every woman's heart excited with desire. That excitement was also in the heart of the goddess Aphrodite, who was extremely charmed by this young man. Adonis loved the great outdoors and was a master of the hunt. On one fateful day, when Aphrodite was to go away for a few days, she warned Adonis not to stray too far into the forest while hunting. At the same time, she told him to stay away from any beast that did not run from him. However, the heart of young Adonis was audacious, and neglecting Aphrodite's warning, he plunged deep into the forest. There he came upon a wild boar, and no matter how much he tried, he could not scare it away. The boar, angered, attacked Adonis, and with one massive heave of its head, pierced the young man with its tusk. It is said that the boar which killed Adonis was no ordinary beast, but the god Ares, who was one of Aphrodite's many lovers. Jealous of her passion for Adonis, Ares disguised himself in the form of a boar and attacked the young man. Hearing the screams of her beloved Adonis, Aphrodite immediately headed for the forest, where she found him taking his last breath. Kneeling by his side, she sprinkled nectar over the wound, and to ease his pain, she sang gently to him. A smile caressed Adonis's countenance as he silently passed away into the realm of the dead. The nectar that Aphrodite sprinkled on Adonis's wound had turned the droplets of his blood into beautiful red anemones, while the rest of his blood flowed, becoming the river Adonis, which is today known as the river Na Ibrahim in coastal Lebanon. Persephone greeted Adonis with arms wide open as he entered the underworld, and her delight knew no bounds. At the same time, Aphrodite, knowing that her Adonis must be in the clutches of Persephone, rushed to the underworld to bring him back. Once again, Zeus had to intervene and stop the women from quarrelling over who would have rightful possession of Adonis. With great patience, he told them that henceforth Adonis would spend half the year with Aphrodite and the other half with Persephone. Some believe this may symbolize the life of a man who spends half his life with his mother and half his life with his wife, whilst others suggest it represents the cycle of rebirth in the seasonal plant life of the world. Another love story from Greek mythology that is full of drama and heartbreak, as all the best tales are, of course. Let me know what you think of the beautiful Adonis and glorious Aphrodite in the comments, and as always, I hope you enjoyed this story.
So, the story of Aphrodite and Adonis. The story of Aphrodite and Adonis. So, after that, they. So, the story of Adonis and Aphrodite. So, one day when Aphrodite go away for a few days, he told Adonis that she told Adonis to stay away from a wild animals that never came to him, so that he will not be in danger. But because of Adonis' audaciousness, so he came to the forest to hunt wild animals, and then a wild boar came to him, and no matter how he attacked the wild boar killed him. And some of them believe that the wild boar was God Ares, one of the many lovers of Aphrodite that pretending to be a wild boar. So after he killed Adonis, Aphrodite here the cry of Adonis, and then he put oh, that nakalimut ko. It was after hearing the screams of her beloved Adonis, Aphrodite immediately headed for the forest, and then where she found him taking his last breath. Kneeling by his side, she sprinkled nectar over the wound to his pain. She sang gently to him. A smile carries Adonis' countenance as he silently passed away into the realm of the dead. So the nectar that Aphrodite sprinkled on Adonis' wand had torn the droplets of his blood into beautiful red anemones, while the rest of his blood flowed, becoming the river Adonis, which is today known as the River Nor Abraham in coastal Lebanon. So Persephone greeted Adonis with arms wide open as he entered the underworld, and her delight knew no bounds. At the same time, Aphrodite, knowing that her Adonis must be in the clutches of Persephone, rushed to the underworld to bring him back. Once again, Zeus to intervene and stop the women from quarreling over who would have rightful possession of Adonis. With great patience, he told them to henceforth Adonis would spend half of the year to Aphrodite and half of the year to Persephone. So some natives believe that this life cycle of Adonis is a life cycle of a boy that spend her half of spend his life half of his life into his mother and half of his life into his wife. So that would be the story of Adonis and Aphrodite. So let's proceed to the characters in the story. So Adonis, described as masculine beauty. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. Mera, mother of Adonis and daughter of Theas. So Theas, King Theas, father of Adonis and father of Mera. Persephone, goddess of the underworld. Zeus, that intervened between the two, king of the gods, and Ares. So let's check about your work earlier. So queen of the death in the underworld, who she is. So this is Persephone. Next, daughter of King Theas. Who is the daughter of King Theas? Mera. So Mera, that's answer of number 2. Goddess of beauty and love. So Aphrodite. Next, god of beauty and desire. So it would be Adonis. And king of Smyrna, Theas. So check your work and pass it later. So let's proceed to the setting. So the myth of Aphrodite and Adonis is set mostly in the forest or in the woods. In lots of stories, the woods are a place of freedom from the civilized world. That's true of this story for sure. Because Adonis' mom, Mera, heads to the woods to escape from her father and the people who would judge her for her incestuous love. So the settings of the story, Aphrodite and Adonis and Aphrodite was always set on the wood. Just like for example, Adonis hunting for wild animals and then where he died. So next, the symbolism. So the red rose. This was the first red rose ever to appear in the earth. So it stands for passionate love ever since then. So the red rose. So have you still remembered the red rose that grows after the nectar that Aphrodite sprinkled in the wound of Adonis? So it symbolizes the love, the passionate love of Aphrodite towards Adonis. So the anemone flower. This flower symbolizes Aphrodite's everlasting grief for Adonis, for just like him, it is beautiful, slender, and short-lived. So, anemone flower, one of the flower that grows after Aphrodite sprinkled the nectar in the wound of Adonis. So, it symbolizes the pain that Aphrodite suffer after the death of Adonis. So, the wild boar, it symbolizes the jealousy of God Ares to Adonis. So, we all know that the wild boar, the one that who killed Adonis, so it symbolizes the jealousy of God Ares towards Adonis. So let's proceed to the themes. So the first theme in the story, love. So in the story of Aphrodite and Adonis, it shows us the unconditional love of Aphrodite and Persephone towards Adonis. And also for Mera, who loved her father so much. It tells us that no matter who you are, if you will hit from the arrow of God of love, Eros, you will be fall in love deeply. So one of the themes in the story Adonis and Aphrodite is love, because in the story we see that Aphrodite and Persephone loves Adonis so much, and also Mera. Even it was so audacious to love with her father, Mera still loved and laid with her father, so that baby Adonis was born. Next, love as a tragic emotion. So, Aphrodite has only experienced love as a happy and pleasurable thing. And because of this, so have earthly lovers. Now that she has experienced pain and loss, she creates magic that turns love into something that is only um, positive, into something that has the potential to be tragic, and henceforth, love has the capacity to be both kind and unkind. Instead of being an innocent feeling, love will now be mixed with feelings of fear, loss, loneliness, and suspicion. So, love as a tragic emotion. Love as love as a tragic emotion, because as what Mera have um as what Mera do to her father, he become a mere three. She become a mere three, because of her too much love of her father. So it belongs to tragic emotion. And then Aphrodite and Persephone, because of their love to Adonis, it it results to tragic ending to their lives. Aphrodite and Adonis also explores themes such as the close connection between love and pain, the powerful effects of passion, and the relationship between the immortal and mortal, human and mythology. So, Aphrodite and Adonis also explores themes as close connection between love and pain. So, overall, the story of Aphrodite and Adonis and Aphrodite was all about the love and the pain of a lovers. That if you love too much to that person, it will end a tragic, or maybe it will end pain. So don't what we call that, don't love too much, because it will kill you. So the moral lesson. So jealousy can make people do horrible things. Since Aphrodite jealous of Mera, she cursed her to have a child with her father. Jealousy. So jealousy is always the idea of that story, Adonis and Aphrodite. When Aphrodite jealous with Mera, so she cursed Mera to lay with her father, to have a child with her father. And then also, when Ares was jealous to Adonis, he pretended to be a wild boar and killed Adonis. So that's what makes sense, that jealousy can make people do horrible things. So have you tried that in their real life? That when you jealous of something, especially when in your loved ones, you do horrible things just to protect your loved ones, or just to make sure that no one can be can get away from your loved ones. So have you tried that class?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So Lovely tried that in her um relationship. So a lesson that we learned from the lead up to Adonis' death is that some love can be dangerous. So as what I've said earlier, too much love can kill of us. So as a result of Aphrodite falling in love with Adonis, Ares got jealous and killed Adonis. So in that, overall, to sum it up, this story, so when you love someone, don't be too possessive to that person, because if you possess if you are if I mean if you are obsessed too much in that person, it can lead you to do horrible things, just like killing someone, just to be with that someone. So loving is okay, but loving too much is not okay. It is also a drug. It can be addicted. So, so I have here the guide question. So I want you to answer this within 10 minutes. So, who is Adonis? Where did the story occur? So we discussed with the settings of this Adonis. And then, how does love affects the characters in the story? So, we all know that it is very clear in that lesson. So what are the lessons you have learned while reading the story? In your own opinion, what are the most significant scenes happen in the story? So I want you to answer within 10 minutes. Okay, time is up. So keep your answer, and you'll pass it later. So who is Adonis? So Adonis is the god of masculine beauty. So the one that Aphrodite and Persephone loved the most. So where did the story occur? In the forest. So how does the love affect the characters in the story? So love affects the characters of the story as they love too much in their loved ones, and they do horrible things, just like um do I mean killed Adonis because of love. What are the lessons you have learned while reading the story? Don't love too much. So the number one lesson that we have learned. So this is an own opinion, so you will pass this later. So for our activity, so I have here the activity number 1. If you have a chance to change a part or a scene in the story, what would be it and why? So I'll give you 5 minutes to answer this. In a 1/2 sheet of paper, at the back of this answers, I mean 1 whole sheet of paper at the back, answer this question. If you have a chance to change a part or a scene in the story, what would be it and why? So I'll give you 10 minutes to answer in a 1 whole size of paper. Yes. Okay, time is up. So let's proceed to our activity number 2. I want you to answer letter only. So write me. So what is the myth mostly about? A. Love, choice, and gratefulness. B. Beauty, love, and jealousy. C. Curses, revenge, and fighting. D. Nature, love, and peace. Next, what would be Aphrodite turn Mera into this to save her? What Mera turned into to save her? A. Mare tree, a grape, animal, or olive tree. Next. So, who helps settle the... So, answer this in 2 minutes. 1 minute in each question. Okay? Next. Okay. So, pass your answers in front. And then, I have here your assignment. So, choose one character in a story and write at least 5 characteristics of your chosen character which you believe you possess of. Justify your answer and give example for it. Write in a piece of paper. So, choose one character. It could be Aphrodite, Adonis, Persephone, Ares, Zeus, Mera, and King Theas. So I want you to choose one character and give 5 characteristics of your chosen character and that you believe that you also possess of. And also justify your answer. So that would be all. Thank you. So I hope you learned from our lesson, Adonis and Aphrodite. Always remember that too much love can kill you. So thank you. That would be all.